Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A person who owns something. They are searching for the owner of the car. Law. Someone who owns, is legal possessor of, a business. He is the owner of a chain of restaurants. A person who owns something. Law. Someone who owns, is legal possessor of, a business. A human being. There was too much for one person to do. A grammatical category used in the classification of pronouns, possessive determiners, and verb forms according to whether they indicate the speaker, the addressee, or a third party. Stop talking about yourself in the third person. A human body, usually including the clothing. A weapon was hidden on his person. A human being. A human being. The immaterial part of a person. The actuating cause of an individual life. Deep feeling or emotion. A human being. A secular form of gospel that was a major black musical genre in the 1960s and 1970s. Soul was politically significant during the civil rights movement. The human embodiment of something. The soul of honor. Causing or capable of causing death. Mortal combat. A human being. Involving loss of divine grace or spiritual death. Subject to death. Mortal beings. Unrelenting and deadly. Mortal enemy. Characteristic of or meant for a single person or thing. An individual serving. Being or characteristic of a single thing or person. Individual drops of rain. A human being. Separate and distinct from others of the same kind. Mark the individual pages. Concerning one person exclusively. We all have individual cars. A single organism. A person engaged in commercial or industrial business, especially an owner or executive. A person engaged in commercial or industrial business, especially an owner or executive. Someone who saves something from danger or violence. Someone who saves, especially money. The person who is in possession of a check or note or bond or document of title that is endorsed to him or to whoever holds it. A holding device. A towel holder. A person who holds something. Someone who owns a ship or a share in a ship. Someone who owns a home. A person who owns something in common with others. Someone who owns a home. An owner or manager of a company that is engaged in lumbering. Someone who grants a lease. Someone who grants a lease. The conventional characters of the alphabet used to represent speech. His grandmother taught him his letters. An award earned by participation in a school sport. He won letters in 3 sports. A written message addressed to a person or organization. Mailed an indignant letter to the editor. A strictly literal interpretation, as distinct from the intention. He followed instructions to the letter. Mark letters on or mark with letters. Owner who lets another person use something, housing usually, for hire. Set down or print with letters. Win an athletic letter. The proprietor of a newspaper. A business firm that publishes newspapers. A regular customer. Someone who supports or champions something. The proprietor of an inn. A woman proprietor. A firm in the publishing business. The proprietor of a newspaper. A person engaged in publishing periodicals or books or music. Someone who pays rent to use land or a building or a car that is owned by someone else. An owner of property who receives payment for its use by another person. The proprietor of a restaurant. The proprietor of a restaurant. The proprietor of a saloon. The proprietor of a bookstore. The collection of rules imposed by authority. The great problem for jurisprudence to allow freedom while enforcing order. The branch of philosophy concerned with the law and the principles that lead courts to make the decisions they do.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.